Hello and welcome to our workshop on 2020, the year of change, and hasn't it just been the year of change? So welcome, my name is Melanie. I am a life coach at Be Still Life Coaching, and I'm really glad that you've tuned into this video today. My hopes and aims for this video is that you see that you're not alone, that this has been a year of things that have been so unexpected for all of us, and hopefully through this video you can gain some tips and some tools on how to stop, take stock of what's been, have a think about what's to come, and maybe ask yourself some important questions which will hopefully work towards making some goals and aims for the rest of the year, even if it is just one of my goals at the moment is I want to drink some more water. It's a real adult thing to do, isn't it? Needing to know that you need to drink more water in your life. So that's one of my goals at the moment. So yes, welcome. Who am I? I'm Melanie. I am a life coach. I am trained in a variety of different things. I'm trained in NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, easy for me to say. I'm trained in meditation, a little bit of CBT, coaching, mentoring. I do a whole host of things. So the reason why I think it's important for people to know loads about different things is because people are different, and it's really important to me to offer something really individual to people when they come to me, because there's no two people that are the same on this planet. Even identical twins think differently and experience things differently, so it's really important to me to be able to offer something that's really personal and individual to what is going on in that person's life and circumstances. So this year, let's talk about 2020, shall we? 2020, perfect vision. It's probably not been the year that people were thinking of when they first thought about their long-term predictions for the year of 2020. But it has come, and we have, in the country, in the world, we've had a collective experience of COVID-19, haven't we? We've all experienced the same thing. We've all experienced, to a degree, lockdown. We've experienced, to a degree, fear, unpredictability. We've experienced some of the same emotions. And in our life, we've experienced, things changing, so work circumstances changing. We've experienced homeschooling. I know I've certainly experienced trying to homeschool, which is something I've never thought I'd have to do, but hey ho, we've done the best that we can with what we have, and that's the most important thing, I think. What else have we've experienced? Being a wee bit more germ aware, so washing our hands, hand sanitizer, wearing masks in shops, on public transport. We've experienced daily briefings from the government, which is not really something that any of us have experienced before. I remember sitting with my family when one of the very first daily briefings from the Prime Minister, and he was talking about the country going into lockdown. So it must have been around the 16th of March when we went into lockdown, and it was just that surreal moment that we were living through collectively what will be known in years to come as an important piece of history. And it just felt so important, that moment, that I was there, I was witnessing it, I was with my family, and I don't think it'll be a thing that I'll ever forget, really, where I was, what I was doing, where I was sitting, what I was wearing. We were waiting for tea to cook. I remember all the little intricate details of where I was when our Prime Minister told us that that's what was happening to our country. And that signalled change, didn't it? And I didn't know what was going to happen at that moment. Fairly sure you didn't know, no one knew what was going to happen at that moment. So we were collectively, as a community, as a small community, as a country, and also nationally, we were living through something that none of us could have predicted, and none of us could predict how it was going to go. And I think that that sort of shared experience of people will be something that we'll be looking at for many, many years to come. I don't think that will go away. I think people will be talking about it and, you know, reminiscing and sharing the good bits, the bad bits, because I don't know about you, but there's been a little bit of both in my life. There's been the unsure times when I've not known what's happening, and, you know, anxiety and worry and stress has taken over. But there's also been the fun times when I've been with my family and we've had more time together to do things together, to go on some lovely walks or once a day walks. We won't forget that in a hurry, will we? So there's been good times and there's also been bad times. But I'm really interested in where we go from here. So what happens now? What happens now that lockdown is beginning to be eased? People are allowed to go places, do things, see people. I mean, I don't think I've seen anyone really outside of my family for months now. So what will that feel like? What will that be like? Where do we go from here? And that's one of the questions that I want to have a look at today. Where do we go from here? But first of all, I think it's really important that we work out where here is. Where are we? Where are we sitting right now? Where are we sitting in our life right now? How does our life look? Have we thought about it? Or, like me, have you been going through the day which has been the same, day in, day out? I've gotten up, I've gone to work on my laptop, I've homeschooled. It's looked the same mostly every day. But how can we look at where we are now and how we're going to move on from here? So there's a few little bits that I would like to talk to you about today. So the first one is something called a Wheel of Life, and you might have heard about it before. It is a fantastic, wonderful, amazing tool in coaching, and I know it's used in psychotherapy and counselling and loads of different self-development platforms, but I want to talk to you a wee bit about it today. So the Wheel of Life, what is it? It is basically a tool that you can do right there in your house, wherever you are right now, which will help you to stop, have a look at where you are and make a plan going forward, which is what we're all about today. So I'm going to let you know, first of all, if you want to follow along, I'm going to be doing it right here with you. If you want to follow along, you're going to need two things. You're going to need a pen, trusty pen, and a piece of paper. Can't beat a pen and piece of paper. I was speaking to someone recently about the benefits of an online diary over a paper diary, and I love my Filofax and I will never say anything different. I love pen and paper. It is what I did when I was younger. I remember at school you got these homework journals type things, and you know, it's just stuck with me. I love my Filofax. I will never change. So yes, you need a pen and piece of paper. So the whole purpose of the Wheel of Life, what is it? What are we going to be doing? So our lives are made up of different parts, aren't they? Not so much in a compartmentalised way, but there are different facets to our life. There is the relationship side, there is the friendship, the social side, there's hobbies, there's finances, there's work, there's career, there's personal development, and all of this stuff makes up who we are and what our life looks like on a daily basis. So we're going to be looking at some of those stuff. So the first thing that I want you to do, trust me and go with me on this one, is I want you to get your pen and your paper, and I want you to draw a circle, a fairly large circle in the middle of your page. It's actually a pretty good circle there. I'm fairly impressed with that. Now this circle represents our life. I love the idea of circles. I believe that the whole life is a circle. you know, just the whole cycle of how things stop and end, and one door closes, another door opens. Big believer in that. I love it. So this circle means a lot to me. What we're going to do with our circle, a bit like a wheel, if you think about a bike, we're going to put some lines down. So I am gonna, or pizza, looks a bit like a pizza I suppose, doesn't it? Maybe it's because it's, I'm getting ready for some food. So my circle now looks a bit like this, or lime, could look like a lime, putting your gin and tonic. So this is what my circle looks like now. So each of these little lines here is going to represent a facet of my life. It's going to represent an area of my life, and basically I'm just going to take stock. I'm going to grade the area of my life out of 10, not in a test giving way, but I'm just going to grade it. I'm going to be really honest with myself. I'm going to grade it out of 10, and I'm going to see where I am and what's not going well, what I want to be better, and I'm going to ask myself some questions afterwards, which I will also tell you afterwards. After we've done our wheel, I'll tell you what those questions are, and those questions are going to help us think about what's next for us, and how we're going to take this important piece of work and we're going to move it forward. One thing I do want to say is that this is between you and you. So there's no one else involved in this. If you're married, then you're where you score yourself might be completely different to your partner. Your experience of how finances or work or relationship or family life or self-development, that's your experience, and you have to be honest with yourself. So it may be a space where you take yourself off and you give yourself 20 minutes to do this exercise, answer the questions afterwards, and that's your own personal time. We can count that as self-care if we like. I'm always trying to get a little bit of self-care in my life. So yeah, honesty with yourself is a real big thing here, because there's no one else going to see this, and if you're not being honest with yourself, you're just cheating yourself out of what could be a really, really great exercise and a really, really great tool. Next step with our wheel here is I'm going to write different areas of my life that I want to think about on each side here. So while I'm doing this, I just want to tell you that online you can find ones that are already filled in, so they've already got the areas of life that they suggest that you score. But for me, I think this is such a personal thing that you might have an area of your life which is not on the ones that have already been done that you can download for free. So I would always suggest and sit in thinking about what is most important. I can't write and talk at the same time apparently. What is most important for you? So I'm having a look here. So I've got 2 more to do. If you're following along, please feel free to pause and take as much time as you need to do this. Okay, so now it looks a bit like this now. So I've got at the top, I've got career, friendship, personal development, hobbies, health, spirituality, money, finances, and relationships. So those are the areas that I'm going to be scoring. So if we think about our wheel here, so at the middle here is 0. So if this area of your life is not going well, you are not happy with it, you want to change absolutely everything about it, then you would mark here in the middle. The majority will probably be on a scale here. So it goes 0, and then if we love it, we don't want to change a single thing, everything is perfect in that side of our lives, then we will put a mark, a cross or a dot here. So it goes from 0 to 10. So I'm going to do mine now. Pause if you need to, but I'm going to be I want you to get the sense of me doing it with you, so that you can see the finished product and hear the questions and how the questions we're going to ask ourselves at the end, and how this can really, really feed into our next step as we move out of lockdown, as we move towards the next half of the year, how this can be really, really helpful. So I'm going to be really honest here, guys, because as I've said, honesty is very, 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 very important when we're doing this. Okay, so I've got my dots now from 0 to 10, and I've marked myself on this sort of continuum of where I think I am sitting on each part. All we do now, it's a bit like being back at school, is we do dot to dot, and we will see the hour wheel. If this big circle on the outside is the perfect, don't want to change anything, everything's going wonderful. If this is what it is on the outside, this is what our life wheel looks like. Now, I don't know about you, but I would not like a wheel like this on my car, because I don't think I would get very far. And if this is what my life looks like, then there's some work that I want to do, obviously. Not need to, we get to do this work, and I want to do this work. I don't need to do this work. I can continue on, things going the way they are, but it will never be as round and as full as I want it to be. Okay, so we've got this now. What do? We've got a piece of paper with loads of areas of our life on it. We've got a wonky wheel. What next? Well done, we've done it. But that's not the end, is it? Because we want to take this important tool and we want to use it for good in our life. So I've got some questions that I've been thinking about that can be really, really helpful if we take our time and really think about them, be really honest with ourselves. The great thing about our brain is if we ask ourselves a question and are prepared for a really honest answer, our brain and our heart will give us that honest answer. We just need to give it the time and the space and the permission to be honest with us. So here are my questions. I will repeat them a couple of times, so if you want to write them down, you can do some journaling later. I would suggest not doing it at the moment. I'm not sure you're going to have the space to think, but here are the questions. Number 1. What is my current situation? Number 2, what has been holding me back? Number 3, where do I see myself? So what I would do if I was going through this wheel of life with someone in a coaching room, or myself, because I do this quite frequently myself, is I would take one of the areas that I'm not happy with that I want to make a change in. So let's say I want to make a change in my health because lockdown eating has been a thing, and I want to, as I've said, I want to drink more water and I want to eat a little bit more healthier. So I would take the area of my health and I would ask myself these 3 questions through the lens of my health. I would say, what is my current situation? Write it down. Be really honest with myself. There's no shame in this. If you're wanting to move forward, there is no shame on where you are. You have done the very best that you can with what you have. But every single moment that you have is a chance to better, progress and move forward. So what is my current situation? Number 2, what has been holding me back? And it could be a variety of different things, but the trick is to be really, really honest with yourself and to work out, what is it that's been holding me back? Is it some thought patterns that I need to work through? Was it something that's happened in the past? Is it lockdown? Is it stress, anxiety? Is it time? Is it that I'm maybe not as invested as I want to be? And how can I work on that? And then where do I see myself? What is the end goal here? So in coaching, there's this goal setting where we start from the end. We start from where we want to be and we work our steps backwards. And with that is how we work out how to get to where we want to be. And I don't know, I find that really, really helpful to start with the end in mind and then work the way backwards and work through the steps. So those 3 questions again, in case you have missed them, is number 1, what is my current situation? Number 2, what has been holding me back? And number 3, where do I see myself? What is the end goal for me in this area of my life? So guys, that is it for me today. Thank you so much for joining in. If you have watched the video, I am so grateful. I really, really hope that you have gotten something, some little nugget, some little affirmation that you are on the right path, or there's something you need to change and you can do it. You absolutely can do it. I hope this has been helpful for you. Please connect with me in there's loads of different ways you can connect with me. You can like the Facebook page, you can check out the website, you can subscribe on YouTube. There will be more of these videos coming soon, so please keep an eye out for them. There is a group on Facebook which is going to be starting soon, which is a peer coaching group, so a space for people to come, chat, discuss, talk about self-development, talk about issues and things they want to come over, get over, things that they want to work through, and a really, really, really supportive environment. And I would be so happy to see you there. I would be really, really happy if you wanted to join in and, give your wisdom, because we all have wisdom inside of us, and you have got something to give to that group, as well as, I'm sure, as we all have, something that we want to change and develop and work through. You can always send me a message on Facebook, or you can drop me an email at hello@bestillcoaching.co.uk. So guys, that's it from me. I hope it's been really helpful, and please do connect with me, and be safe, be well, and be happy. Thank you.